This is your introductory class with Vedguru, a tradition that we are following, which started 5,000 years ago by the banks of the mighty Saraswati, which flowed majestically and inspired the rishis, the munis, to write down wonderful literary pieces. The four Vedas, the Rig, Sama, Rajur and Atharva, and the Natya Veda, as well as the Vedanta. The tradition is continued even today. In those days, transmission of information was through Shruti or ears, and even today, the voice happens to be the most effective medium of communication. Leaving aside history, let us get into precise aspects. This particular class is an introduction to letter writing, official letters. Over the years, many students ask me that what is important to remember when we write letters? How do we write? I tell them it is very important to remember what will you write. At the same time, equally important is the aspect that has to be kept in mind is that what you will not write. In this introductory part, we are going to deal with the format basically of letter writing as is followed by CBSE and as is followed all over the world with the advent of computers. Why do I say so? You will understand later on when I'll explain left indent. As you can see over here, we have the sender's address on the top. After that, there is a line gap. The date is precisely to be written in this way. Then the address of the receiver. The green lines are the line gaps, as you can see, a line gap even after the receiver's address, and then the subject, it will be written as SUB and a colon, and very briefly the topic or the subject has to be written. For example, here we are writing a letter to the mayor of Delhi Municipal Corporation complaining about the poor condition of roads, and the subject is as such, poor condition of roads. A line gap, a salutation, sir, without a comma, with a comma. I don't give a comma. After that, the main body, this will be in three parts. The introductory part, the middle part, and the conclusive part. Then, yours truly, after a line gap, yours truly, in which there will be no apostrophe, and you can write yours sincerely as well. Then the name of the sender in running hand, and then the name of the receiver, the sender itself in capital letters. The name of the sender in small letters and the name of the sender in capital letters. As we turn this over, we find that writing official letters, while writing official letters, we need to have certain PowerPoints. Number one, perfect format. On an average, 1 mark for the format, but more importantly, a perfect format makes you impress the examiner. He will understand or she will understand that this student knows how to write. Para division, very perfectly this needs to be followed. Proper punctuation marks. Sequencing means the order. That means the introduction, the explanation of the topic, and then the conclusion. Excellent detailing and the proper conclusion. As you can see over here, as we have discussed previously, the sender's address on the top, a line gap, the date, a line gap, receiver's address, a line gap, a salutation, sir or madam, a line gap, introducing the topic. That means over here, you will have to write what the topic is all about. Then comes the details of the issue. Detailing is very much important. Here you will be telling us about the details of the whole issue, and that is very important. You have to give maximum detail in minimum space. You have to follow the word limit as well. Then the conclusion. What will the receiver do? If he is the mayor of a corporation, he will try to solve the problem. If he's an editor, he will publish the letter, and so on. So what do you expect as a writer to be done with this letter? And then finally the Ending part, yours sincerely, no apostrophe, the name of the person in running hand and the name of the person in capital letters. More importantly, you have to remember the left indent part. Everything starts from the left hand side. The language has to be very formal. In the upcoming classes, we will be discussing how to write different types of letters. This is the general part and we will be analyzing this in the next classes, upcoming classes, how to write the different types of letters. Happy learning and happy learning.